Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. Fuck ice, I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty. And after a little bit of a news to break, we are back reviewing Estuary, a ghost story, another one from Only Press. And you all know by now, I really quite like Only Press. They've put out some absolute bangers recently, and I was happy to give a shot to another story. And this one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of judging a book by a cover here, and it is one of the best covers I've seen on a comic book in a while. I think probably since Autumnal, in terms of like just how much it evokes the story that I'm going to get from it. And I did the usual thing I do of not reading anything else about the story, not even checking if the cover artist was the internal artist, but thankfully he is. Marn House, and I apologize if I mispronounced that first name, I've only ever seen it written down. But his artwork carries on throughout, and it's going to be what I'm talking about first, and weirdly I'm going to start by talking about how good it is in Act 3. Yeah, it's a single issue comic book. I'm not too sure it has acts, but it does have like three kind of distinct parts, so it makes sense to discuss it that way. And the end is when we get to see the full depth of what it can do in terms of bringing out like a truly horrific kind of situation here. It is underwater, and his control of colour and depth of it is fantastic. And I'm going to throw an edge a little bit here. He's not the colourer. There is a colourist as well as him, and I was genuinely surprised by that, because when I was flicking through, I had to go back to check the credits, because it was like, no, this can't be two people. This looks like such a brilliant amalgamation of artistry and colouring that it feels like it is. If it is two people, they share a soul or something, because it's amazing how well they work together. And I'm going to jump around a little bit here. In Act 1, there is a really, really nice establishing shot of the landscape, and there's a really nice trick of multiple geographic things going off into the distance, with spatter paint being done to use for weather and other effects, and it's done in such a way that there is no overlap. Well, there is no overlap where it matters, and it is one of the best bits of 3D artwork I've seen that isn't just really playing around with 3-point perspective. It just looks like beautiful, brilliant landscape, as if you're there experiencing it. But it is the horror kind of elements. It is the creepiness that you get. It isn't just, oh, you're in the water now, it's blue. I mean, yeah, it's blue, it's not like it's pink or anything, but there's depth to it. There is fun had with experiencing it from the point of view of the people involved, the things that they're seeing and things that we're seeing that they're not seeing. It is a wonderful ending to the first issue, and it absolutely sets up what I hope is going to be a fantastic ghost story. In terms of the writing, David Andre, I think. David Andre. Brilliant writing. Weirdly, his moment of shine is in the second act, the intermediary bit, where we get to see our two main characters, two people on the cover at least, having a proper conversation with each other. And I swear, this is like romance level stuff going on here. It's brilliantly done. It feels exceptionally naturalistic. All the conversation just flows really, really easily. Two people who clearly have a very complex life and are happy to talk about it, realise that there might be something there, and are very, very gently testing the waters. There's not like too much apprehension, although there's a certain degree of it, but it comes across naturally. It doesn't feel like there's fake tension being put into it to make this seem like there's more to it. It just, like I say, it feels natural. Naturalistic dialogue is really, really important to me, and even though this feels kind of tight and the back and forth is really quite cool, there's enough in there of little breaks, little stutters that I'm like, yeah, this is just two people having a conversation, and it may lead to something. Might not. Neither of them are in a situation where they can commit, and they're only spending a little bit of time together. It so brilliantly sets it up. Now on to Act 1. The setup. This does a couple things I really like. Number one, the establishing incident is something that happens over 2 pages. There's no dialogue. It's done and done very, very quickly, and quite easy to be like, right, okay, now what's the rest of the story going to be about? But it is also a masterclass in foreshadowing, because it's clearly, at some point in the past, there is things done in it which really give the indication that this is not something that happened yesterday or even last week or even last year. But we don't get enough information, and we don't even know how it's connected to what's going on. But the fact that it is just a handful of panels over a couple of pages means it doesn't really stay with you unless you think about it. And I like that for foreshadowing. It's the kind of thing where later on in the series we might get someone to go, oh wait, that's what that was. But we will have kind of forgotten to a certain degree, because it's not there with dialogue and character. It's not there to lodge in our mind other than visually, which means we will have recollection of it, but not maybe perfect recollection. It is massively set up, and then we get some really wonderful dialogue and not lore drops, but exposition explaining why these people are there and what's going on. But even by the end of the issue, we are already seeing how creepy some of that is, and how it's not what we think it is, and how the entire point of this story is to follow it along, to discover where it's going, to engage with the unknown and the creepy and the downright unsettling. And honestly, huge fan. Can't wait for more. That's it for me for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.